What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new story. Today we have a story of a spoiled brat who messes with his teacher so bad that he actually gets expelled from school. Yeah, you're going to want to stick around, so subscribe if you're new and let's jump right into it. So we're going to call the subscriber who submitted this story, well, you know what, we're going to call him Ben. Normally the secondary character in these stories is called Ben, but we're going to call the primary character Ben. So anyways, there's this kid in Ben's class who we're going to call the spoiled brat. And for the rest of this video, we're just going to refer to this guy as the spoiled brat or spoiled brat. He does have a name, but it just makes it easier on me. So anyways, this kid thought a lot of himself. He thought a lot of himself because he was never told no in his entire life. And when you're never told no in your entire life, you just start to believe that, like, not only can you have anything, but you deserve anything that you want, and that you're the best, and that you're number one, and that you kind of understand what I'm saying. So this story all starts on what seemed like a normal day at lunch. So Ben and his friends were sitting at the lunch table. They were talking about whatever. And the spoiled kid would sometimes sit with them. They weren't really close with the spoiled kid. But they also weren't going to say, like, oh, kid, get out of here, whatever. Because, I don't know, they just weren't like that. Because, like, I don't know, that's just not a cool thing to do. But anyways, right, the spoiled kid is sitting with them at lunch one day. And they kind of, Ben admits that he was being a little bit of a jerk here. But him and his friends were kind of messing with the spoiled kid, like, you got any play recently? Like, you hitting up any of the ladies? And the spoiled kid's like, yeah, man, I have so much Riz. I'm a Riz god. I'm number one. And they're all like, oh, you are then? He's like, yeah, you guys have nothing on me. And, at this point, Ben and his friends are pretty aware that all the girls at this school also don't like him, just because they know that he's pretty entitled and he's pretty much of a jerk because of it, but he's also a little clueless at the same time, which makes it really funny. So they're all like, oh, well, if you have so much Riz, if you really are the Riz god, then they point over to Sandra, who is sitting with some of her friends, who is like notoriously the prettiest but also the meanest girl in the entire school. This is why Ben was saying that they were kind of being a little mean to him. But Sandra is notoriously the meanest but also one of the prettiest, and that's probably why she's the meanest girls in the entire school, who was a grade older than them. And Ben and his friends were like, so, spoiled kid, if you really got that Riz, if you're really that guy, then go talk her up. Like, go talk her up and take her back as your girlfriend. And the spoiled kid, instead of being like, guys, come on now, because, look, not even Ben, who was like, he's pretty smooth, pretty decent looking, what he told me. I mean, he's telling me that, so I'm not sure if that's true. But for the sake of the story, that's what he told me on Instagram, which he submitted the story via Instagram. You can do the same, link in description. But anyways, even he didn't have a shot with her, because she was a grade older and she was like top dog, right? But anyways, the spoiled kid who thinks that he can get anything because he deserves everything because he's the spoiled kid who everything has been given to him and he's never been told no, so why will he be told no now? He basically gets up and he walks over and he goes to where Sandra is. And the thing is, Ben can't really hear what's happening, but Ben can infer. He can make an educated guess that the spoiled kid is having zero game, he's getting zero play, and truly, he has zero Riz, right? That's just how it goes right now. That's kind of just how it is. And he watches as Sandra and her friend, Sandra has this look of, like, disgust on her face. Bro, as I was saying, she's not the nicest ever, but she has this look of almost disgust on her face. And her friends are, like, holding back laughter. But the spoiled kid seems super clueless. Until the very end, Ben is watching, and Sandra just nods her head, or shakes her head no. So I think the spoiled kid's like, so do you want to go on a date with me? He was probably just like, hey, Sandra, looking good today. Bro, what school do you go to? Well, I think that's enough small talk. Let's cut to the chase. Do you want to go on a date with me? It's probably something along the lines of that. So I think pretty clearly, Sandra was like, no, kid, get out of here. So the spoiled kid comes back and he's like, she just wasn't feel like dating anyone right now, so that wasn't very fair. And all the other guys kind of look at each other and they say, okay, well, looks like you're just not the Riz god then. And the spoiled kid's like, no, I get so much play, dude. You don't understand. And no, look, the spoiled kid took it super personally that these random guys that Ben was with were, like, not calling him the king of women, the Riz god, that, like, this, he was taking it super personally. So they said, okay, man, you know what? One of Ben's friends was like, you know what? We'll give you an opportunity to reclaim your title, but you must do this. He's like, anything. I'll prove it to you guys. I will prove you all wrong. And the guy's like, so, if you really want to prove us wrong, then Miss Davenport, get with her. And the entire table looked at him like, bro, what? So basically, Miss Davenport was a teacher that Ben, the spoiled kid, and a few other kids at the table had. They had her for history or whatever, and yeah, they were just kind of like, what? Miss Davenport was a younger teacher. She was probably mid-20s, maybe early 30s. But, bro, very clearly these kids were not going to swing her, and if they did, that would be a bit of a liability for her. Yeah, I just don't think that's happening. But at this point, the spoiled kid, he is delusional enough to think that, oh, dude, I got this in the bag. Are you guys playing? This is going to be the easiest game ever. And he's like, dude, give me a challenge next time, but sure, I'll take it up. And he's like, all right, well, if you can swing Miss Davenport, then you are truly the Riz God. And the spoiled kid's like, I got you guys. And he gets up and he leaves. And at this point, Ben turns to his friend. He's like, dude, what are you even talking about? Like, that kid is 100% not going to swing Miss Davenport. He's like, yeah, I know, but it'd be funny to see him try. And Ben's like, dang, are we the mean people here? Are we the bad guys in this situation? And they're all like, nah, this kid's he's just gonna learn a lesson. And let me just say that yes, the title is not clickbait. You have not been baited. But one like equals one prayer. So one like equals kiss your crush. You know, those kind of stupid things. Yeah. No, one like on this channel equals nothing. So grab your nothing down below. But yeah, I did not clickbait you with the title. From this point on, what the spoiled kid will do gets him expelled. So yeah, sit tight. It's about to get interesting. So anyways, in 2 days from the time that Ben's friend told the spoiled kid that if he rizzed up his teacher, that he would, get the crown of like the god of all women or whatever, or the god of acquiring what I don't even know, like just the ladies man. He gets that crown if he can actually secure Ms. Davenport, their teacher. They had a history test in 2 days. So 2 days later, they're all sitting down. Ben and his friend, the one who said, hey, get with our teacher, and like maybe we'll say that you're like the god of all women or whatever. And they all sit down, and they sit down next to the spoiled kid. And the spoiled kid leans over, he's like, dude, I'm gonna ask her out on a date. And Ben leans over, he's like, what? And the spoiled kid's like, yeah, I'm gonna ask her out on a date, and I'm gonna say it so smoothly that like, bro, she's so gonna go on a date with me. And Ben's like, dude, I know, like my friends are just messing with you. Don't actually try and ask out the teacher. That's insane. And Ben's like, not Ben, but the spoiled kid's like, Ben, do you not want me to be known as the god of all women, of getting women, the ladies man? You're not on my side, Ben. You just want the crown for yourself. Well, you know what? I'm not falling for your tricks. Not today, Benny boy. That's a nice try from you, but that's simply not happening. And Ben is just giving him a look of, bro, I'm literally on your side here, dude. Oh my, yeah. So the spoiled kid was really thinking that Ben was, trying to steal his ladies or steal his crown of being the best with the ladies, right? Yeah, of course Ben was trying to do that. He definitely wasn't just trying to stop the spoiled kid from doing something that he may or may not regret later. Yeah, that's exactly what Ben was doing. But anyways, right, the test is passed around, and it's a pretty easy test. It's not that bad. Ms. Davenport never gave any curveballs on the tests. So they were basically done, and Ben watches as the spoiled kid flips over his test. And on the back of the test, or not on the back, but like the very bottom of the test, there's like a blank space or whatever, because maybe there was like one question on the last page and it just didn't take up the whole page. He wrote a note and he scribbled some stuff down, he jotted some stuff down, and he had this smirk on his face the entire time, right? And after class, Ben was walking out of class with his friend, and the spoiled kid ran up to them. He's like, boys, I just secured the bag. And they're all like, dude, what? Like, what are you talking about right now? He's like, boys, I am 100% going on a date with our teacher. And they're all just like, bro, what are you saying? He's like, boys, on the last page, I wrote this little letter to her saying how beautiful she was, how I always watch her walk into class, and it always makes me feel a certain type of way. And Ben's like, hey, yo, no way, no, you didn't write that. He's like, yeah, and I told her to meet me after school in the class parking lot. I'd take her out on a nice date to the restaurant. He names a fancy restaurant in town that I would treat her like the lady she deserves. I'd treat her and I'd be the man that she deserves, or something like that. And Ben's just looking at him with this like gaping mouth expression, this no way this bro actually did it type expression. Because Ben saw that he wrote something, but he didn't actually think that that's what he wrote. He had no idea. He was thinking maybe the spoiled kid wrote, hey, I bombed this test, but I'll slip you a $100 bill if you give me a pass because Dad gives me unlimited credit card money, or something like that. He didn't actually expect this kid to try and flirt with the teacher, but do it so aggressively? Yeah. So what ended up happening was while the teacher was grading the tests, she notices this. And instead of going on a date with this like 7th grader, which would be a whole different situation if that was the case, she sends it up to the front office, and this kid actually gets suspended for a couple days. You guys might be thinking, whoa, Connor, you said he got expelled. Well, does it look like the video's over? The video's not over, man. The video has just begun. The story has just begun. Because while the spoiled kid got suspended for a couple days for asking, you might be thinking, oh, he just asked the teacher out on a date. Like, that must be a joke. No. The way he said it was, like, messed up. It was weird. So he got in trouble. The school took it really seriously, and he actually got suspended for a couple days. And they straight up told him, we see something like this again, and you're in really deep trouble. They didn't specify exactly how deep a trouble he would be in, but I guess the spoiled kid wanted to be known as the Riz God so badly that he didn't quit. Yeah, it's about to get a lot worse. Real quick, if you made it this far into the video, comment spoiled down below. That'll be the secret word of the day. So make sure to comment spoiled if you made it this far into the video. Also, drop a like if you want to claim your free nothing. Limited time nothing, baby. If you want nothing, leave a like. And finally, if you want to support the channel, the best way to do so is to go ahead and watch my older videos. Just put them on in the background as a little background noise if you like. It helps me out. In the pinned comment is a playlist of all my stories. It's a great way to watch the videos. And yeah, let's get back into it. So anyways, a couple days later, after he's been suspended for a couple days, Ben sits down at the lunch table, or not Ben, the spoiled kid sits down at the lunch table with Ben and his friends. And they all turn to him, they're like, dude, like, what happened? And he goes on to explain that, Miss Davenport was hiding her true feelings for him, so she decided, to send the thing up to the front office, and he may or may not have gotten just a little bit suspended for the last couple days. And they all turn to each other, and Ben just looks at his friend who told him to do it. And I'm sure Ben's friend is feeling bad, but Ben's friend's like, so? Or no. Ben is feeling bad about the whole thing. He doesn't want to get the spoiled kid in trouble, or at least in any more trouble. But Ben's friend is feeling a little, I don't know, a little mischievous, I'm not gonna lie. He's kind of feeling like, yeah, all right, let's see how this goes. Because Ben's friend goes like, oh, man, dude, she's totally into you. He's like, what? And he's like, yeah, man. I mean, she can't be blatant about it. She's just playing hard to get right now. And the spoiled kid's like, I knew it, guys. Like, just the way she was looking at me, like, I saw her, like, in the hallway. Dude, I knew it. She was just playing hard to get. And Ben kind of speaks up. He's like, because he knows his friends are being really irresponsible right now. He's like, guys, come on. He's like, and then they look at him, and they're like, what, Ben? Do you not believe in the spoiled kid right now? And Ben turns to the spoiled kid. He's like, dude, the teacher's not going to go on a date with you. You're going to get in even bigger trouble if you try anything again. Don't do it. And remember, the spoiled kid already thinks that Ben is not trying to look out for him. The spoiled kid just thinks that, Ben wants his title of Riz God or whatever. Or whatever, right? And, the spoiled kid's like, Ben. At this point, I thought you know that I knew. But just so you know, and to make it clear, I know that you want the title of Ladies Man. I know that you want the title of Riz God, and you will stop at nothing to get in my way of that. You don't want my dreams to come true, Ben. This is very clear. I know this as a fact now. I know that you want me to fail. And Ben's like, dude, no, like, you're gonna actually get in really serious trouble. Like, I'm just trying to help you out right now. And the spoiled kid's like, no. I know what's going on here. Like, don't even try that with me, man. He's like, you know what? I'm asking her out today. And all the boys at the tables start like clapping. They're like, yeah, let's go. If she says yes, you get the title, man. You get the title. And at this point, Ben like is turning to them and like whispers. He's like, bro, like you're gonna get this kid really messed up. And they're all like, hey, man, he's playing himself. So yeah, sure enough, they go back in history class. And yeah, Miss Davenport gives Ben the weirdest look when he walks in. Just gives him like the, all right, kid, what's your angle now type look, right? So they all walk in there, and Ben takes out a little piece of paper and starts writing stuff on it. Not Ben, sorry, the spoiled kid. Ben turns to the spoiled kid. He's like, dude, what are you writing? He's like, none of your business. And Ben's like, dude, come on. He's like, fine. As long as you don't plan to like mess me up or anything. And the spoiled kid's like, I'm writing another letter. And Ben's like, dude, that's what got you in trouble the first time. And the spoiled kid's like, bro, she was playing hard to get. Second time's the charm. You know that's a saying. And Ben's like, first of all, the saying is third time's the charm. And second of all, no, she's not. She's going to report you again, and you're going to get seriously in trouble, dude. Like, the school was really mad at you. Like, didn't they say that, like, the consequences were going to be worse? And he's like, yeah, whatever. Well, she's not, because she's going to go on a date with me. At this point, Ben turns to his friend and says, you need to stop this. He's writing a letter now. And Ben's friend's like, okay. Ben's friend's like, all right, I think we've had enough fun. So Ben's friend walks up, like, in the middle of class, right? I think they were far enough in the back of the room that, like, no one really cared. But he walks up to the spoiled kid. It's like, hey, man, don't give her that letter. Like, I don't think, I was kind of messing around earlier. You're a cool dude. Like, you don't need to prove anything to us. The spoiled kid's like, no, I'm going through with it. And then his friend's like, dude, I really don't think this is a good idea. You're going to get in a lot more trouble if you do. And the spoiled kid's like, no, dude, you were 100% right. She's just playing hard to get. She wants me, bro. And he's like, dude, that's the teacher. She couldn't, even if she did, which would be weird as hell, she wouldn't be allowed to. That'd be super messed up if she even did. Like, no, she's not going to do it. All she's going to do is report it to the front office, and you might get expelled. Like, it could be really bad. And the spoiled kid's like, bro, you just don't have faith in the Riz God right now. You just don't understand my level of talking to women. You just don't understand what I'm capable of. And Ben's friend's like, don't do it. And he sits back down. And yeah, sure enough, they're waiting till the end of class, and they all walk up. And Ben and his friend walk up ahead of the spoiled kid. But when they walk out the door, they turn around, and what they see, it's not a good sight. Because what they see is they see the spoiled kid take a piece of paper that's folded in half, very obviously a makeshift letter, and slip it on the desk. And the teacher is just looking at him with a look of like, if this is your move, then this is your move, but you're gonna have to eat the consequences if this is what you choose to do. And the spoiled kid looks at her, has a big smile or whatever, and then just like walks down towards the alley, or not the alley, but like the hallway. And spoiled kid goes up to Ben and his friend. He's just like, bro, I did it. I rizzed her up. They're like, dude, no, go back, apologize, say it was a joke, and take that back now. He says, no, man, I'll be totally fine. You just wait and see. And sure enough, the teacher sent it up to the front office. The letter, once again, was weird and was bad. And the school had a really strict policy when it came to this stuff. Like, I think they had an incident like years ago, and they just were not messing with this anymore. And I was not kidding. The spoiled kid got expelled from the school for this. You guys might be thinking it's harsh, but that's just how they did their punishments, I guess. So yeah, moral of the story is just don't do this.
Click on the video on screen right now. I know you'll enjoy it. Just click it, do it.